The prince chooses to position his headquarters on the hill to the north that overlooks the town, and King Sarnak of Lancia chose a similar position on a hill beyond the road, half a mile to the south. Shortly after the tents are constructed, a message arrives from King Sarnak's headquarters, inviting the prince to join him and draw up plans for tomorrow's battle. The prince accepts the invitation and says you may accompany him if you wish. Do you wish to accompany him to Prince Sarnak's headquarters, or would you rather decline?
Let's accompany him.
Yeah, sure. What you guys gonna do in a tent anyway?
In the company of a dozen bodyguard and court heralds, you follow the prince as he makes his way on foot to King Sarnak's camp. It is his usual practice to inspect his soldiers on the eve of battle, to see for himself that all is well and to raise their spirits with a few words of praise and encouragement. He is heartened to discover the morale is already high and that they are all confident that he will lead them to victory. At length you arrive at the Lancian headquarters. A huge yellow flag bearing the emblem of a white swan and blue dragon flutters in the breeze above the royal tent, where a unit of silver-clad knights stands stiffly to attention. A trump... Did you say anything?
No, she just snickered.
Oh. A trumpet announces your arrival and the knights escort you inside to meet the king. After formal greetings have been exchanged, the grey-haired king begins to discuss the impending battle. The prince has brought with him a detailed map of the town, and as the two leaders formulate their plans, it is used to mark the places where their regiments will assemble and attack the enemy. And we have a picture of this. So, just a moment. Here we are.
Huh. Okay, I was a little nervous. I thought that dagger that he looks like he's holding was the top of his helmet.
Think it is.
Oh god. Seriously? Oh yeah, I remember from the actual Middle Ages that they sometimes have stole long spikes, but seriously?
Well, imagine what you could do if you headbutted someone.
Yeah, but still.
Nice.
Well, it might just be so that people can recognize him with that helmet on. So it's like, where's the king? Where's the prince? Can you see that ridiculous helmet? Yeah, that's him.
Can I see that?
Oh!
Can you see?
Or maybe he's holding both things. Sort of, he has a little spike on the helmet. He's just.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options.
Seriously,
if there's a flag from the top of the
yeah,
knife.
I was about to comment on that. He seriously has a dagger on his helmet that is carrying a flag.
Well, since if he's to be a field commander, you need to be able to find him quickly in the middle of a battle. You can't just call him up on your cell phone, you know. So it may look ridiculous, but and I don't know if you can back me up on this, Warlock, but I think that's a pretty effective way to make sure your people know where you are.
Yes, I mean, it's also risky for the commander, but yeah, that's pretty much how they did it in the Middle Ages. Of course, it also marked the commander out as a target for the enemy, but it also meant that the troops knew that he was leading them.
Yeah. So there's the upsides and downsides. But, yeah. In any case, if only we knew the number of reinforcements Baron Shensa has received, says the king uneasily, then we could be sure our plans would succeed. The prince nods in agreement. We must send a scout to
Reconnaissance.
No, not reconnaissance. I know that word.
Reconnoiter.
Yeah, reconnoiter. Well, how did you know that?
Hello, I'm the warlord, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Warlord 1.
Point taken, point taken. Reconnoiter. I never heard that word before, or read it. Their defenses. Or hundreds of our soldiers could lose their lives needlessly in the assault. The king looks in your direction, then returns his eyes to the prince. I have no scouts trained for such a delicate operation, he says, but I see you have a pathfinder. Send him. His skills would be well suited to this task. The prince hesitates. He cannot reasonably refuse the king's suggestion, yet to send you into the enemy camp would endanger your life and your quest. Do you wish to volunteer to scout the enemy positions, or would you rather just shut up?
We no choice have, I think.
Yeah, we don't want to insult the king by not taking up this mission. Besides, refusing to might give away our cover. We're supposed to be a scout, remember?
Yeah. I volunteer
He'll
to
blow our cover.
the king.
So that's all in for scouting?
Yep.
Yes. It'll be dangerous, but it kind of has to be done, you know?
Excellent, says King Sanak. I wish I had a few like you in my own army. He bids you step forward and shows you the extent of the known enemy positions using Prince Gregor's map. Once you have been briefed, he sends for some black clothing for you to wear instead of your grey Pathfinder's uniform, and some burnt cork with which to blacken your face and hands. You're now ready to perform a minstrel show.
What?
Ooh.
You are then escorted to the edge of the
Or
encampment.
maybe I'm the opposite of a mime today.
Possibly.
Huh.
You know, a thing that jumps a lot around and it makes a lot of noise.
Well, that would be very bad for a scouting mission. Close to the dusty road on which the army marched from Luomi. The guards tell you that the password is broadsword.
Huh.
Give me a moment, I'll write it down. The password
To what?
is broadsword.
Well, assume if this is one you want to get back or something like that, so they know it's you.
Yes.
True.
When you return, you must use this word, or the pickets, the sentries who guard the perimeter of the camp, may mistake it for one of the enemy. Yeah.
And I get the feeling we do not really want to end up like a pincushion.
You don't say.
The ground to the west of Setsa is flat and featureless and offers very little cover to conceal your approach. Slowly you work your way through the knee-high grasses to within 20 yards of a stone bridge, where the roadway crosses a foul-smelling ditch and enters the town. Your every movement is stiff with caution now, for the bridge is barricaded and you can see the spiky black helmets of the enemy defenders glinting in the moonlight. Snake-like, you wriggle forward, slide down into the ditch and take shelter beneath the stone bridge. With one cheek pressed against the wet stone, you strain your ears to hear what the enemy are saying. You recognize the harsh, ugly language. It is Giak. How can a language be ugly?
Hold on, before you continue on the
You
whole
know,
thing.
it could be very rough and coarse. Like maybe it's, you know how German is a very hard language. You know, all the words have very hard sounds. Or maybe they're swearing a lot. That could also be it.
Oh, okay.
Also, before we continue, the whole Giak thing just reminds me, under our special items, we still have the whole scroll of Giak with the evil letters. So if anything, if there's something we can recognize, maybe we can look it up.
But it's only being spoken by human voices. The only humans to speak it so fluently are the Death Knights. The elite of the Dracarim.
Okay, I need to be honest, that sounds kind of cool.
Suddenly there's a loud splash that sends your pulse racing. A spear has fallen close to where you're hiding, and its shaft stands upright in the muddy water. A growling curse is followed by the sound of heavy boots descending the bank as an angry Death Knight comes to retrieve the weapon he dropped. Okay, and you need the... Do you have the combination of skills of invisibility, hunt mastery, and pathmanship?
You
don't have invisibility.
In that case, roll the die.
Okay. 9.
The Death Knight warrior appears, his huge black form silhouetted in the archway. You grip your weapon tightly and prepare to strike him a fatal blow should you see you hiding in the shadows, but you do not need to attack. He snatches up the spear in his mailed fist, turns and hauls himself out of the ditch, grunting and cursing his carelessness as he struggles in his heavy armor. You wait 20 minutes before leaving the bridge and working your way slowly along the ditch.
Okay, I see. Huh.
Silently... Sorry? Were you about to say something?
Yeah, something I just would like to confess here. I actually remember, this is just something short I will have to add. I once stood still for a whole 5 minutes one night back when I was younger because I thought I would wake up my parents because I was just going to the bathroom. I just stood there for 5 minutes hoping they would not wake up.
In any case, silently move through the shallow sludge of water and mud hidden by the bank of the ditch from the watchful eyes of the Dracarim sentries. Beyond the ditch, the ground rises to a low wall, which encircles a field of cultivated trees. It is an apple orchard, and it is full of enemy soldiers, huddled around their campfires and asleep beneath the fruit-laden branches. Beyond the orchard lies an expanse of open grassland covered with tents and makeshift paddocks full of horses. Here, then, are Baron Shinsar's reinforcements. Over 600 cavalry newly arrived from Blackshroud.
Give me a moment, I have to write this down. The apple orchard is filled with enemy soldiers. And the enemy reinforcements were 600 cavalry, right?
Yeah.
How much did they have before the reinforcements?
That's the question now, isn't it?
Well, I would assume all the rest were.
That's a lot of horsemen.
Yep. You commit every detail to memory before leaving the ditch and making your way back stealthily to the Allies' camp. The King and Prince Gregor praise the success of your scouting mission. The information you have gathered is of vital importance to their battle plans. The Prince senses that you are tired and orders his heralds to escort you back to his headquarters and prepare a comfortable bed for you. After the long day's march and the exertions of your scouting mission, you accept gratefully the chance of a good night's sleep. At the break of dawn, the soldiers of Lancia and Eruk rouse themselves and adopt their positions for the fight. You gather your equipment and join the prince at the top of the hill on which he established his command post. He is observing the enemy lines through a telescope and dictating orders to his heralds, who commit his words to parchment and dispatch them to his regiments in the field. Oh! I guess this would be interesting for Warlord. There's a map of their battle plans.
Let's have it then.
I'm interested in hearing what you can make of this.
Well, it's going to be difficult. It looks as if our army outnumbers the enemies, but they have a very good defensive position from what I can see. First of all, they have this ditch between their position and ours, which our troops has to cross before we can get to them. They can fire on us while we try to cross it. Second of all, they have archery stakes in one part of the position, and I suppose those round that line of small circles surrounding the archers on top of the hill with the orchard is a palisade. Because the archers are on high ground, so they have a very good defensive position, and they also have a formation of archers in those woods out there on the flank. This is going to be a pretty difficult battle.
Right.
Also, like I said, they have a lot of archers. I mean, let's see, 100, 200, 400, 500, 600, 600. They have 600 archers along their line. That's actually a substantial part of their army. And like I said, our troops will have to cross the ditch or try to storm the bridge, which will be very difficult because the Death Knights are stationed there, and they will have to get up on those hills and through those stakes and palisades in order to get to them, and they'll be able to fire on us while we do all that stuff.
So yeah. We outnumber the enemy 2-1, but they are well positioned to receive our attack, comments the prince, handing you his telescope so that you can scan their lines. The town of Setsa is little more than a handful of ruined cottages clustered on a flat-topped hill. To the north lies a wood and a small hill on which a ruined temple stands. To the south lies an orchard surrounded by a low wall, and further on open grassland bisected by a ditch that runs the whole length of the battlefield. The road from Loomi crosses the ditch at the stone bridge, which is barricaded and heavily defended. The enemy have also been busy to the north. A mass of point stakes form a barrier between the two hills to impede any attempt by cavalry to break through the center, and along this defensive line are row upon row of Drakarim archers. An unnatural calm descends on the field, as though time momentarily stands still. Suddenly the quiet is shattered by a fanfare of trumpets from King Sarnak's camp. It is the signal to advance.